Now I am sharing the important questions of the political science. Whether the retired police officer has a right to punish the wrong ones. So no. Retired police person is in any organization, police, military, civil service, politics, has a no any authority after he retires. He may have respect, but he cannot give an order and accept to be obeyed by anyone other than the personal staff or security assigned to him. A retired person or citizen of the country can give evidence or help the police to find that wrong ones, criminals, but that person has no authority to punish him because now he is not an authority, so no power, no right to punish a criminal. Second, can you oppose or disobey the government orders? If yes, then by which mean you will express your disobedience? Yes. You can oppose the government orders if they are unlawful, unjust laws and orders. You can oppose the government but by peaceful, non-violent means. By civil disobedience, you cannot use any violent ways to oppose the orders of government. Now the example, Gandhi suggested the twin concepts of Ahimsa and Satyagraha, which became the founding stones of his non-cooperation and civil disobedience movement. First is Ahimsa. He urged the people to understand and accept the absolute moral value of ahimsa and a principle of social and political action. Satyagraha was both a moral principle and an operative weapon to combat the unjust laws. Rather, by using the violent ways, it should be opposed and we should adopt the non-violent ways. In non-violent ways, there are various forms like hartal, boycott, strikes, hijrat, non-cooperation movement, civil disobedience, etc. So we can adopt any non-violent ways mentioned above. Now two examples of means suggested by the Mahatma Gandhi used to oppose the government today. Mahatma Gandhi suggested the twin concepts Ahimsa and Satyagraha, which become the founding stones to his non-cooperation movement and civil disobedience movement. The same we have to explain here. Ahimsa, then Satyagraha. Then, what do you mean by the individualism? So, individualism means to think about individual only and not about the class, state. So, the individual freedom has to be considered. Personal liberty is considered important. If each and every person is allowed to do anything he wants, then automatically the state will be developed. So, individualism believes individual development. The individualism is important for national development as the nation is made up of individuals, so the individuals are the element of the nation. Once they are developed, automatically state nation will be developed. Individualism is based on liberalism. Advantages of individualism are freedom, learning new things, tougher you, influencer, development of personality. In previous videos I have explained this all, what are the advantages and the meaning of the ideologies. Next are the disadvantages. The strong becomes the only strongest, social disharmony and conflict, negligence of duties by government, all persons are not equal in ability and intelligence, disastrous competition, misuse of power and sufferings of workers. What is humanism? Now the humanism is a belief that the human needs and values are more important than religious beliefs or the needs and desires of the humans. Humanism stresses to have the rights of human beings and to shape their own lives by teaching them their moral duties, responsibilities. The humanism's approach is optimistic and focus on the noble human capacity to overcome the hardship, pain and despair. So simply humanism teaches us humanity to behave like human beings and to be truthful, moral, loyal. What would be happen if there is a no obedience in a state? Now the obedience is very essential for the state. If the citizens don't follow obedience, obey the laws, then there will be no law and order. And peace cannot be maintained. If obedience of citizens is absent, then the government cannot work smoothly. In a state, obedience to laws is a general rule and disobedience is a rare. The government of a state can function smoothly and effectively only if the majority obeys laws. Lawbreakers who form a small majority can be controlled and punished. But if the majority of people disobey laws, means majority of people are disobeying the law, then it becomes the difficult to government to control them. But if the majority of people disobey laws, government will be helpless, as no amount of a force can quell the majority if they are dead against the government which they wish to overthrow. So the obedience is very important to set up a stable government in a state. Next is the difference between liberalism and socialism.